Our first review of the day is going to be for Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday movie came out in 2003. We're reviewing this retro review because we have Freaky Friday that's out right now in theaters. There, 22 years later, you have Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan returning there. You got a very sexy Manny Jacinto there, who's added to the cast. So excited to do a retro review for this. Haven't seen Freaky Friday since probably since around the time it came out there.
Yeah.
So it's been a long, long time there, but good, interesting memories to go back and watch it. With this 2003 film, you had, like I said, Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, this film, there had been an adaptation of it before, which we were talking about before the review. There was a movie with Jane, what's her name?
Jodie
Jodie
Foster.
Foster.
Foster. There, I was going to say Jane Foster. I was like, wait, that's not the correct. Or my bad. So Jodie Foster there, who was in a film version of Freaky Friday already. This is also based on a novel of the same name, a 1972 novel. They're written by Mary Rogers there. This film is directed by Mark Waters, who directed this film. He's directed such films as he also was a director of another Lindsay Lohan film, Mean Girls, which came out the year later after Freaky Friday.
Yep.
That. He also did Just Like Heaven as well, the Spiderwick Chronicles as well, Ghost of Girlfriends Past, and who can forget the classic Mr. Popper's Penguins with Jim
Oh
Carrey.
yeah.
He
What a classic.
he also did that. But yes. So he was the director of this. What does it detail? Well, it's a Disney movie, a old switcheroo there that happens. They go to an Asian restaurant. And of course, this is early 2000s humor. So there's a lot of
There's
Asian jokes.
yeah, and obviously there's conflict between the mother and the daughter, so of course that means they gotta learn how to understand each other, and what better way than to put some weird switcheroo curse on them.
Yeah, there's even a gong sound that appears when the Asian woman walks by.
Yeah.
Within it,
Lord.
I was funny. I was watching also the honest trailer for this, and they did a lot of that as well, breaking that
Yeah. Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
which was pretty crazy there. But that was the early 2000s for you.
Yeah.
So this Asian woman who at this restaurant decides to go like, you know what, these girls need to learn a lesson. They
Mhm.
need to learn what it's like to walk in each other's shoes, and they switch. So you have Jamie Lee Curtis, who's the mother of Lindsay Lohan, switch bodies with her daughter Lindsay Lohan there,
Mhm.
and hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Christina, what do you think about Freaky Friday?
Well, I mean, this is a very typical, very much by the book, strict type A mother with a very rebellious teen daughter. So, of course, when they end up switching bodies, it's like, oh my god, you can't tell there's something off with these two. You can't tell how all of a sudden Lindsay Lohan's trying to dress very conservatively, and Jamie Lee Curtis is out here getting her hair like cut shorter, piercings and whatnot, dressing like she's like 25 or whatever. And also, too, the fact that she doesn't want you know, to have a stepfather as well. So there's also that other conflict that is a part of the subplot of the entire movie. Is that she doesn't want Jamie Lee Curtis to marry that very handsome guy that we all know and love, and so that also creates that conflict. And of course she has to deal with the little brother, the grandfather who always shouts earthquake, which I always thought was hilarious because it's typical senile old man behavior. But in the end they do learn like a valuable lesson about each other. And they end up learning that it's just a complete misunderstanding the entire way. Like they're at that part in their lives where they just don't understand each other, don't know each other. And of course they end up trying to wing it as each other, but also fails miserably because we end up with Chad Michael Murray falling for Jamie Lee Curtis and not Lindsay Lohan, who Chad Michael Murray returns to Freakier Friday and he still looks pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah, a lot of good looking men.
That guy has not been on a lot of things recently. I'm surprised.
No, when I see him, I'm like, whoa! I remember him. He was like the teen heartthrob for all the early 2000 teen movies. Like of course, Freaky Friday, A Cinderella Story. Like he was everywhere.
Well, what's funny is, if I'm not mistaken, the stepfather is played by Mark Harmon, who
Yep.
all of our moms would know from the lead of NCIS.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Every time he tries to get her, she's like, cold sore, cold sore, cold sore. And I'm like, come on, Lindsay, you wouldn't want to kiss, Mark Harmon. Like, come on now.
I mean, it's Gibbs. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah, very handsome, handsome, handsome fellow. Come on now, look at that. Even as he's gotten older, he still looks good looking.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good old man.
I just always wondered, like, how they have. I'm assuming because Jamie Lee Curtis is obviously the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, so she comes from Hollywood royalty with actors who have personality, and I guarantee you, she probably tapped into her teenage years to try to play a younger version of herself of what a Lindsay Lohan would be doing. I'm assuming they probably studied each other in like pre-production, learning like how to do certain mannerisms that the other character wouldn't do unless they were switched. And I think like that's something that's very important to really tap into when you are trying to play a different person that you've switched with.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And you see that sometimes, yeah, when they do kind of body switch movies, which is a crazy concept. Sometimes it happens in certain movies,
Or
especially
even
kids.
when they have like a child and like two different actors playing like the same character, like a child and an adult, like certain mannerisms they pick up on that they have to like do that will
Tom
make
Hanks
people
big.
remember them, that oh, that is that character as an adult or something like that.
Mm, yeah. So you think that's kind of one of the better parts of the movie? You think they really kind of nailed that, like becoming each
Yeah,
other? Okay.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's just so funny because it's like you're also trying to imagine Lindsay Lohan saying those lines that Jamie Lee Curtis is saying as her.
Mm,
Like it's all like sometimes it's like, does it go a little off? But it really doesn't. It's just funny seeing Lindsay Lohan. This is before she went through her train wreck. She had done this movie, Mean Girls, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen or something like that.
Shopaholic.
Yeah, like so she was like the teen. Her and Hilary Duff were like the teen queens of the early 2000s, and they were kind of like butting heads at the time.
mm,
And so it was interesting to see, Lindsay, they revisit this movie with Freakier Friday. Because I was like, how the hell are they gonna do a sequel? And then I'm like, oh, Lindsay Lohan's old enough to be a mother now.
she is 37 years old, Lindsay
I
Lohan, right?
know. Oh my god, she's only a few years older than me. Oh my lord. I keep
Oh,
forgetting that
39.
they're
Oh,
she's my sister's age. I'm like, they're not really that much older than us.
Yeah. We talked about it, I think, a little bit before. I think me and Nick there, just about doing about anticipation. I was talking about doing a retro review for this of, Lindsay Lohan was, I guess, kind of a, is millennial icon. She was in a lot of big movies, pivotal movies for a lot of millennials there. Her first big
Yep.
movie was 1998 Parent Trap, which came out
Yep.
there. Then she moved on, Freaky Friday, as Neil mentioned, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen there. Mean Girls, which was the same year. Herbie Fully Loaded there.
Yeah, I remember about that. I forgot about that one. That was
Uh,
another remake of another Disney classic because that was also a 70s thing, I'm assuming, if I remember correctly.
it was I don't remember if it was like a movie or a TV show or something like that, but like it was I remember it not being very good, but at the same time kind of wondering why did they remake this again out of
Also,
all of
wasn't Michael Keaton and he was like the bad guy in the movie or something like that? I'm like, what's happening? But this was also before Michael Keaton had his major like
this
boom.
Birdman Renaissance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy enough, she was in one, two, three, four. She was in 5 movies in 2006. That's pretty wild. Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
Um,
this and then rehab, the jail sentences, the court appearances and all that. And a lot of people are wondering how she looks so good now. I'm like, because she's gotten facelift. She's gotten the right amount of work done. So if you're
you,
wondering why so many celebrities look so good and not like with filler and Botox and all that, it's because they're getting facelifts now. They're getting like there's so many different types of facelifts that you can get that just bring back the beauty in your features. And so when you
I
look at these photos of Lindsay Lohan, you're like, how does she look so good now? And I'm like, she's getting the right work done. And she
I
looks
got
better. I'm happy that she's done a lot better. For a while there, I wasn't convinced, but learning how she, settled down, start a family, doing those like Hallmark Netflix type of movies, I'm like, okay, she's getting back on her feet, and
yeah.
she seems very more of a reliable person now. She's going through a lot. I mean, but this is also the same person who had to deal with Donald Trump making sexist comments about her having freckles on her bosom. So it's like, I understand why she probably was going through a lot at the time of her life, dealing with all that nonsense, all the sexism and misogyny in Hollywood, which is something that Jamie Lee Curtis definitely related to. And I feel like that's something that once they reconnected, I think they did talk about that a lot.
Mm.
Because Jamie Lee Curtis got her start in the Halloween franchise, and she was just a teenager, I believe, probably like 18, 19, something like that, maybe 20 years old. And so the more things change, the more things stay the same when it comes to young actresses in Hollywood.
Mm.
Yeah, unfortunately, that just seems like a perpetual problem that's always going to exist in the industry. But I'm glad Lindsay Lohan seems to be like doing a lot better for herself. And, honestly, there's no shame in doing, like you said, the Hallmark or Netflix Christmas movie stuff she was doing.
Yeah,
Cause like,
there's
you
something for
know,
everyone.
exactly. There's an audience for, kind of cheese ball stuff like that. But I'm glad that she's doing well. And when you mentioned the connection between Jamie Lee Curtis and her and how they had like similar backgrounds, like I could kind of see them being sort of kindred spirits, and maybe that's part of the reason
Yeah.
why this series works as well as it does, because you can see there's a strong connection between the two, whether like intentional or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even as Jamie Lee Curtis got older, she was viewed as a sex symbol. I mean, that one, I think, what was Secret Lies? Is that what it's called?
True
The one
Lies.
with True Lies, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and she does that
Mm.
scene where she transforms herself into that dress and makes herself look more like sexy and appealing. And it's like, oh yeah, she's had to deal with that. And plus, I think she had just done Hollywood H2O, I think, and so Freaky Friday came out, quite a few years later, and that was a big
Mm.
deal for her to come back. And so there was also a time that her career got a boost. She was doing the Activia commercial. So she was kind of
Ah,
like Jamie Lee Curtis was kind of like on the up and up too with her like major comeback post, like with Freaky Friday and all that. And now she's an Oscar winner, which people still debate whether or not she was deserving of it. I'm one of those people. But but even Jamie Lee Curtis says that she doesn't want to do this forever. Like Freakier Friday was for the fans, something to revisit. And I'm kind of glad they did. I mean, it's a fun movie. Like people are like, "Oh, this is so cheesy, blah blah blah," and I'm like, not every film has to be avant-garde cinema. Not everything has to be from Pamela Anderson's Criterion Closet picks. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, sometimes people just like a lot of cheese on.
Mhm.
They like a good cheese sandwich, and I'm one of those people. Like I haven't seen these
Yeah, I
movies,
love
but
extra cheese on a sub. Let's go. Give me more provolone.
yeah, sometimes the best movies are the cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
mm. And this movie, Freaky Friday, was a big commercial success here. So on a budget of $26 million, it made $160.8 million. So it
Yeah.
was a big commercial success there.
I
Um,
think the aesthetics of the character, like Lindsay Lohan, how her character dressed and her bandmates, I feel like that type of style really also helped popularize the movie as well. Plus also again, like she was very popular. Everyone knew her from The Parent Trap, and this was like her first big teen uh film, because she had done the oh god, what was it, life size or something like that with Tyra Banks right before she had done Freaky Friday. So this was like her first like dipping her toes into the teen scene of Hollywood.
mm,
I
yeah.
remember I
Oh,
used to dress. I literally would dress up like her too when I was growing up. I was like, I want to wear like the plaid jeans and the type of like almost like spiked belt and
very
yeah,
Avril Lavigne that she's dressed like.
yeah. Basically, I did wear a tie.
Yeah.
Avril
Um,
Lavigne
I was like, I
slash
want to be in a
Paramore.
band.
yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
And the
And
actress who played her friend in the center, who was the lead singer, she was on that one Nickelodeon show, Taina, which lasted for like a season or so. I remember that was like a bit of a throwback as well on Nickelodeon.
mm,
Okay.
nice. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, watching this movie, you can watch it on. I saw it on Disney Plus there. I don't have it on VHS, but I just saw it on regular Disney Plus there. Um, And yeah, I mean, a lot, especially watching this right after watching the sequel to it. There's very much a lot of similarities, not only with the body swapping of it, but even the premise of like the person's trying to break up the marriage between somebody. You have one
Yeah,
here where Lindsay Lohan doesn't want her mother to get married to somebody else, and have a new
yeah,
stepdad. That's very much the premise there in this kind of new
yeah.
one. Um, you also have
It
it where oh, good.
it reminds me of Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, honestly. Even though Home Alone 2: Lost in New York came out, like, a year after Home Alone, but a lot of people say, it's a very familiar type of movie because we all know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's a different location, same hijinks, we all know what's gonna happen. Maybe there's a few new, Tim Currys added into the mix, but I mean, it's a 22-year age difference, obviously, between Freakier Friday and Freaky Friday, but it's like, it's a very comforting, familiar, vibe that we all know. So it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Are they not gonna, switch back? Or like we know what's gonna happen in the end.
Mm. Yeah, and there's some good bits, in this one, just like I think there's some decent bits in the sequel too. I chuckled a bit. Like there's a scene in the sequel with the record shop. I think that's a good bit there. I think that's a pretty good one. And then, from they do recurring bits there from the first one, they carry over to the second one, like this mirror scene there, that they do. This time they go like in the sequel, they go a little extra hard on Jamie Lee Curtis now that she's 66 years old, but they do a
Yeah.
lot of
Hey, but she ain't getting much work done, so good for her. She's letting her hair grow, gray and white, and she's letting herself age properly. But then again, I mean, she's Jamie Lee Curtis. Her mother's generally a knockout. So
Look at me. I know. We seem to be inside
I'm
each other.
old.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I'm like the crypt keeper.
Okay, that's enough.
Ah! I want my body back.
And I don't want mine. My wedding's tomorrow. Oh my god, my wedding's tomorrow.
I can't marry Ryan. Ew.
Okay.
Okay, what?
I have no idea.
Mom, maybe we should go to the emergency room.
Oh no. All that'll get us is a 72-hour lockdown in the psych ward and a Thorazine drip. No, we're not going anywhere.
Okay.
yeah. I
oh
like
yeah, I
that. Yeah, that
forgot she
hair.
was a psychiatrist too. The Jamie Lee Curtis, her character was a psychiatrist. I think that was my early interest into psychology and psychiatry.
Yeah.
Because she had to do the scene in Freaky Friday. She had to do that whole like go over her book, and she had no idea what the hell she was doing. And it was just so funny.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's some pretty decent. I mean, for kids, I mean, this is all right. I mean, if you just
Yeah.
kind of watch it for that, and even some good chuckles there you have. I think it's kind of perfect for that. With Freaky Friday, and the chemistry between Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan is kind of the selling point of
Hmm.
this film there. And also, I mean, I don't know what they did with the brother. The brother, they just forgot about his ass. I mean, I don't think they even
I'm
mentioned
a
him in.
walrus.
I don't
Wait,
even think
wait,
they
wait.
mentioned him in the sequel, do they? I completely forgot. It's like, do
Yeah,
they?
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't bring like because he was a bit of a like comic relief, and he also annoyed, you know, Lindsay Lohan. But it's like she's she's grown up, she's an adult, she's a mom, so it's like it's almost pointless. But I think that's also the reason why they added, with the daughter and the other girl. So it's like there's that bit of comic relief as well that kind of fills in for the brother.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the brother's in this, and he's like the annoying little brother that you have in family
Uh,
movies. There, that's supposed to annoy the big sister. There,
Yep.
and
The contractually obligated annoying brother.
yeah,
Yep.
you got that kind of aspect there. And I mean, Christina, I mean, you being a daughter there, I don't know if that's a special kind of experience there for daughters and mothers to have a movie they can relate to. You know,
Yeah, I mean, my mom and I are pretty cool, but like I never had like a rebel. Like feel like Freaky Friday would make more sense for my sister and my mom.
okay, so you were the good daughter. You followed what mom said, pretty
Yeah,
much. Okay.
look how it's paying back. I'm assuming, but but yeah, like my sister and my mom had like that dynamic. So so because I remember watching Freaky Friday growing up. I always think about my mom and my sister, and I'm like, you know what, they would benefit from a switch.
Mm. And then you have like when they kind of argue back and forth there, and this is a scene there where you get to see a little bit of their early on dynamic before you see they're at odds with each other here.
Yeah.
Mom, do you see what happened to my door?
I spoke to your principal
What?
just now on the phone.
Where's my door?
Privacy is a privilege, Anna.
Where's my door, Mom?
Your door will be returned to you, Anna, if and when you
I
can
need my
explain-
door. You give me that door, or I will kill myself. Oh. Can I watch?
Harry.
Shut up! Oh.
I think we can dispense with the drama. And maybe you can just calmly explain to me why you were in detention twice today?
Okay, I went to detention, but that was only because Stacy Hinkhouse kept hitting me on the head with a volleyball.
When is this conflict with Stacy Hinkhouse going to end?
Never, because she's an insane.
Oh, she learned too.
You know that if you pay a speck of attention.
Anna?
What?
I think you know I pay attention, Anna. Enough to know that you got an F in English today?
Well, Mr. Bates is out to get me.
Oh, him too?
Yeah. And you learn about him. He also makes a return there
Yeah.
as well. And this is just seems like he just doesn't like her, I guess. Some teachers just
Yeah,
don't
like even in the beginning, again, they completely don't understand each other. And they're like, what's this view? What's happening? But then she thinks she's sweet, but she's not. And then Jamie Lee's like, oh, this bitch is out to get my daughter. Okay, I gotta do something, but it ends up backfiring. Like it's just...
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of bit when like Lindsay Lohan is in Jamie Lee Curtis's body and Jamie Lee Curtis is in Lindsay Lohan's body there? Like what's kind of your favorite bit there from each one of them?
Well, I'm trying to think. My favorite bit is just Lindsay Lohan is Jamie Lee being like a comforting mother, yet he like to the brother, even though like he notices something, like the little brother knows something is off with the two of them, because he's like, why are you comforting me? You're my sister, you hate me, But also too, I think most of mine are actually the Jamie Lee Curtis moments where she's getting that makeover, and then when she's doing like the book reading or whatever, and it's just like she's like, oh, see now, like old people, okay, I got it, and she's like, whoa, she's blind. Like I think it's just the line delivery from Jamie Lee Curtis that really makes this film.
Okay. Well, do you have any major issues with the movie at all there?
No, not really. I mean, they brought this version into a modern era, because obviously the last one that was done was in the 70s with Jodie Foster and Barbara Harris, I think. And so, a lot of people, it was like about like a 30-ish gap between the original movie and this remake. And some people even forgot that there was an original film. So and this was, early internet. So not many people assumed that there was already a Freaky Friday film out, unless you were, someone who grew up in the 70s, like my mother did. So I think not having internet as prominent back then helped the movie, because it wouldn't face the the, oh my god, this is a remake, this is a sequel, this is this, like we do today. Like even today, people are like, oh my god, a Freaky Friday sequel, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, I think the internet being in its like fetal stages is what helped this version become probably the most popular version of Freaky Friday.
I don't even know, kind of when they stand next to each other, I'm like, I don't even know which one's the daughter and which one's the mom.
I know, so young.
Yeah, like
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, this is the original. Yeah, Jodie Foster right here, young Jodie Foster right there.
Yep.
And was this 2 years before? This 2 years before Taxi Driver, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Taxi Driver
Yeah.
was 78.
Yeah.
There you go.
And fun fact we learned last night, Jodie Foster got the role of Princess Leia, but she had to turn it down.
Really?
Yeah, if imagine, would there be a Silence of the Lambs had she done Star Wars? We never know.
Wow, that's a alternate film universe I would be interested to peek into.
Yeah, one of the things we do on Moon Extravaganza is go over like production and casting, and it's like Steve Martin and Chevy Chase for Han Solo. They didn't know Robert Englund was up for the role of Luke Skywalker. I'm like, he's the one who suggested Mark Hamill audition in the first place, and look what happened.
Wow.
So
Cool.
Awesome.
that's something that I enjoy doing on our podcast, is going over like, what if,
Mhm.
what if this person and that person and this person were the leads instead?
Yeah.
Chaos ensues,
So what will be your final thoughts and rating for Freaky Friday there?
I think honestly, this is like a 10 out of 10 for me. Like it's again, it's the beauty of it. It doesn't have the the internet cynicism attached to it when it comes to remakes. I mean, this is very much early before remakes were even considered a thing. Like they were still like very much in their infant stages. I highly recommend it. If you're someone who wants to compare and contrast, you could definitely watch the original one. I'm assuming it's also on Disney Plus. So, I mean, if you're someone who wants to like do like a film analysis and compare and contrast the two Freaky Fridays, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. And you can watch the original Freaky Friday on Disney Plus. So you can do the one from 1976, and you can watch, like I said, the 2003 version there as well if you want to do that. This is that's a perfect place to watch it there. I would say good if you want to check out the backlog catalog of all those Disney kind of films. There was Life Size also Disney. I think that.
Yeah, it was yeah, because Fox now yeah, Disney owns yeah, it was like Fox Family back in the day. I'm old enough to remember when it was Fox Family before ABC Family. It was a Disney channel original movie, I believe.
Yeah, it was ABC. So it was ABC. So it was.
Yeah, because ABC back in the day used to do those Friday night, movie premieres, and I kind of missed that.
Right.
So watching it did kind of make me a little nostalgic there for that kind of era there of those type of movies. Watching it, I do think Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis do have really good chemistry together, and they work well together. There's some good gags and bits here, like we mentioned there in it, which I think work pretty well when they're in each other's bodies. I'd give it like a solid stream it. I'd give it like that, and you would 10 out of 10. You would give it a this is cinema. I think
Yeah.
with that one. So that was Freaky Friday, 2003. Like I said, movie big success. Big success there. Budget on 26 million. Made 160.8 million dollars. Also, Lindsay Lohan was nominated there. There with one of them got nominated there for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. So I think it was
Golden Globe. I bet
yeah.
she probably won like a Teen Choice Award or something as
I was
well, or
about
Kids Choice Award.
I was about to say, I would assume like either MTV Movie Award or Teen Choice
Yeah.
Awards, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster was
Best fight.
since she was in the original film, she was offered to play the mother, but she turned it down. Madonna was also someone who expressed interest in playing the mother, but she
Oh boy.
not so
Ooh.
there.
Madonna's a movie killer. Pat LuPone's right about that. Have you ever seen
I,
Evita? Mm-mm-mm.
I,
You know
I,
what would have been interesting? A Freaky Friday movie in the 70s with Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis. That would have been
Oh,
very much on the nose.
yeah. Since they are both, yeah. Hollywood royalty, actress, mother and daughter there. That would have been something. Um,
Yeah.
Another selection for the daughter team up was Annette Bening and Michelle Trachtenberg. Michelle Trachtenberg,
Ooh.
that was one
Yeah.
of the options there as well.
Buffy.
could
Yeah, she was doing Buffy. Yeah.
I could
Uh,
see Michelle Trachtenberg being in this.
Yeah.
Both they dropped out due to scheduling conflict, so they couldn't do it there.
Yeah, I think Michelle was doing Buffy the Vampire Slayer at that time. It was like almost like in its last season or so, I think.
Yeah, she was on seasons 5, 6, and 7, so that timeline matches up.
I
Uh,
remember watching because I was a kid watching Buffy, and I'm like, wait, Buffy had a sister? What? I'm like, this is the ultimate gaslight. I'm like, what? No, she never had a sister. And we just had to go along with it until it was
Well,
revealed that she's the key and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh.
actually, a legit, really clever way to address the whole like, oh, she had a sister thing. Like,
Yeah.
pretty clever
Yeah.
to do it.
Some other people here, so you have like pretty much a laundry list of all the, I guess, big name young actresses at the time you were suggested: Misha Barton, Kristen Stewart, Mae Whitman, Evan Rachel Wood, Brie Larson,
Ooh.
Emmy Rossum, Kristen Bell, Sherry.
Imagine Evan Rachel Wood doing this and then 13 the same year.
That's interesting.
That's
It's probably why she didn't do it.
Sherry Appleby and Danielle Panabaker were also
yeah.
there as well. So yeah. Speaking about a little bit of a connection there, a little bit more CW there with Chad McElmurray because he was on One Tree Hill.
Yep.
Jared Padalecki was also one audition as well. People might know him as Supernatural there.
Mm-hmm.
He also auditioned for part there as well. So yeah. You have also Kelly Osbourne, who was originally cast as Maddie, but she withdrew there from the part.
Yeah.
So you had that.
That would have been very interesting.
Yeah.
Very nice.
She
So
was doing the Osborne show. I don't know how she would have been approved by Disney.
She wouldn't have, I don't think.
They'd be like, "Oh no, you get into too many fistfights with your brother, and you're cussing him out and doing drugs." Never mind.
No. What would have been funny if Kelly Osbourne was in it, then be like, "Oh look, Ozzy Osbourne just happened to show up here, and what do you know? They're playing Crazy Train at the the concert, the Banshees playing or something."
Yeah, get that Ozzy Osbourne camera like he did in the Austin Powers movie.
Right.
so Freaky Friday. That was our thoughts on that.